Hey everyone, welcome to Fermentation Friday. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today because I am mostly excited about the videos that I'm going to be making coming up because I finally have somewhat completed apple cider vinegar, and it's been a bit of a struggle to get there, and this still isn't exactly perfect, but I'm excited about it. And before I'm going to get into that with you guys, today I'm going to be showing you my kombucha vinegar. So me and vinegar have a little bit of a history. This isn't actually the first time that I've made vinegar. This is just the first time I've tried to make vinegar. When I was in university, I made a batch of rhubarb wine, which was looking like it was going to be very, very delicious, and I was super excited about it. And then I forgot about it. And I found it a couple months later, and you know, it had like a scum thing on the top, and I was like, ugh, time to get rid of it. So I took it and I poured it down my bathtub, and as it was going down the drain and the aroma was raising up out of my bathtub, I realized I had just dumped an entire gallon of the most beautiful, flavorful rhubarb vinegar you could probably ever get your hands on, and I kind of have been kicking myself in regards to vinegar ever since. And my kombucha vinegar is a little bit of a story similar to that, because what it actually is a batch of kombucha that I made and then completely forgot about. It's been a couple months now, and yay, it's now vinegar. That's kind of the fun thing about how vinegars work. They just kind of, you know, if you made something and you forget about it, there's a chance it's going to turn into vinegar. And this is one of those cases where hopefully you don't dump it down the drain like I did with my rhubarb wine. So the story on these is Ian and I were really enjoying the kombucha. We were drinking lots of it. The weather was really nice, and all of a sudden my one continuous brew kombucha just wasn't enough kombucha for how much we were drinking. So I started up a couple secondary jars, and you know, it's kind of a good idea. It's only so long until you're gonna get, you know, contaminated by fruit flies, as fruit flies fly around my face. Or maybe you get mold, and if you have a second batch, you know, something where hopefully nothing's getting into that. If it's getting into your main brew, then you have a backup. But yeah, so Ian and I drinking a lot of kombucha, and then I made these, and then all of a sudden the weather changed and it wasn't as hot and we weren't drinking quite as much, and so they just kind of sat there. And I mean, this one's pretty funny. You can see all the kind of SCOBY layer built up in there. And this is, I originally started this batch with no mother on the top. This is just what's built up over it getting jiggled and disturbed and everything. And I came to these last week because I had someone who was looking to start brewing kombucha for themselves, and so, you know, I had some starter and I had like a layer of the SCOBY that I could give away. So I opened it up, and you know, it made me realize, oh wow, look. 2 months later, what do you have when you leave your kombucha? You have kombucha vinegar. So pretty excited about these. You know, now that I'm into winter, I'm not drinking quite as much kombucha. Ian's gone, you know, that means I'm drinking half as much kombucha, because before we were each having some every day. But there's always so many uses for vinegar. You know, it's a great cleaner. You know, if you're doing salads and cooking, you can never have too much of it. So I'm excited to get some of this kombucha vinegar going, because it has, you know, a really unique flavor. I had a little taste of it last week as I was giving away, and it's like, you know, like all sour mouth puckering the way vinegar is, but then it had that like sweetness and that richness to it that apple cider vinegar has. So really excited to get a bottle of these going. On this container here, you can kind of see where the liquid level is. It was originally up quite a bit higher. I can kind of see a little bit of a layer of, you know, like where the SCOBY had been attached originally, and it's kind of evaporated off, and because I have these open to the air, these are just going to keep evaporating if I don't do something with it. So seems like a perfect time. I'm going to take these, I'm going to fill up this bottle that I have that, you know, isn't ideal for keeping kombucha in, but, you know, it should help keep the evaporation down a little bit on this. And then I'm gonna get another secondary batch going in both of these. And, you know, if anyone needs kombucha, then I have it. If I have something happen to my main culture, then I have it. And if nothing happens 2 months from now, I can top up my kombucha vinegar bottle and be good to go. I still want some starter in here, you know, just keep the culture going. And I do have some yeast sediment in the bottom there that I'd prefer not to get into my vinegar. So I'm just basically gonna pour off a bunch of liquid off the top here and just kind of steal a little bit out of here. You know, if I can get a liter out of both of these to get going, you know, that's something. That'll take me quite a ways, because, you know, as I said, I have a couple other vinegars coming, so exciting. You can see kind of this little layer in here, that's from when I disturbed it earlier this week and it's reformed. And then my other SCOBY kind of sank to the bottom on there. It's kind of funny how they just do their thing, but there's always something living in there enough that it seems like you can always get another one of those layers to form. That's probably good. Any more on that and the sediment's gonna start stirring up. Keep the fruit flies out. Get a little bit more out on this one too. This mother is insane. I have 700 milliliters of SCOBY in there. Probably a little excessive, but it amuses me, so I'm gonna keep it in there. It'd be funny if I can actually get this jar to be like 100% just SCOBY. That would be, you know, just for being funny. Probably would be less functional than anything else. Okay, cross your fingers, guys. When I do this, I usually spill everything everywhere. I really should be doing this over my sink, but okay, what are the odds on that? Pretty much exactly a container's worth. That's pretty, it was meant to be. I know there's a little bit of bubbles in here, but this really hasn't been doing anything for a while now. I don't really get any sort of carbonation on these, so I'm not too concerned about this kind of, you know, building up pressure and turning into a bomb. Also, these containers, like, they suck. Like, I could burp this without unsnapping it, so I'm thinking it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna keep it down in my cold storage, so. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely, well, it's definitely vinegar. This is like stronger than apple cider vinegar, I'd even say. This is almost like giving me that like alcohol style burn as it goes down. But, you know, as I said, it has that, I don't want to say sweetness, because I mean, for the amount of time that it sat here, it really has eaten all the sugars out, but, you know, there's just that richness to the flavor that isn't in, like, just a normal vinegar. So, it's pretty good. So, there you go. 1 bottle of kombucha vinegar, all that it takes is being forgetful and bad at making your kombucha like me. No, but honestly, if you already know how to do the kombucha, you know, like let's say you have a little bit of your starter tea left over after you set up your main container, it's a great way to kind of put that tea to a purpose other than the kombucha. I know for me personally, it's hard to keep up with the kombucha sometimes, especially in this colder weather. I'm a little bit more inclined to be drinking tea when the snow is falling than I am to be having, you know, fizzy pops. So as I said in the beginning of the video, what I'm even more excited about than this kombucha vinegar is the fact that I think I've actually made apple cider vinegar and there was a lot of mold involved in getting to the point where I have it, and even as it is, I'm gonna be getting like a cup or two out of these two containers just because there's a lot of Serena style bad fermenting going on when it comes to those. So I have those coming up, and I also have a couple other vinegar videos coming up as well too. I kind of have like a whole vinegar series that I'm excited to do with you guys. So stay tuned, and I will see you for more fermenting next week.